Getting into those awkward, cramped corners where a standard angle grinder just won't fit is usually a nightmare for anyone working in a shop. That is where this little pneumatic belt sander from Tezoro comes into play. It is a compact, half-inch wide tool that feels surprisingly solid the moment you pick it up. The ergonomics are decent, and it has a nice weight to it that doesn't feel like cheap plastic, which is a relief when you are dealing with high-speed air tools. What really catches the eye is the rotating head. Being able to pivot that sanding arm a full 180 degrees is a massive help. It means you aren't constantly twisting your wrist or contorting your body just to hit a spot weld or clean up a burr on a piece of steel. It just makes the workflow feel a lot more fluid. Now here is the thing about these air-powered units. They are only as good as your compressor setup, but once you have the air flowing, this thing really moves. It hits up to 16,000 RPM, and there is a little dial on the back of the handle to fine-tune that speed. It is a simple, tactile way to control the aggression of the belt, which is great if you are switching from heavy rust removal on iron to something a bit more delicate on wood or leather. Speaking of belts, it ships with 3 different grits, 36, 40, and 60, so you can get to work right out of the box without hunting for supplies. Changing them out is straightforward enough that you won't be dreading the process every time a belt wears down. Honestly, the trigger switch is probably the best part of the design. It is light and responsive, so you don't end up with that annoying hand fatigue after spending an hour cleaning up solder joints. If there is a downside, it is that the air consumption can be a bit thirsty if you are running it wide open for long stretches, so make sure your tank is up to the task. Also, while the build is sturdy, the air inlet fitting could be a bit more robust. It is functional, but it feels like the one spot where you might want to keep an eye on wear and tear over the long haul. It is not going to replace your heavy-duty bench sander, but for those tight, fiddly jobs that usually require a file and a lot of patience, this thing is a genuine time saver. It is a specialized tool, sure, but for the price and the sheer convenience of getting into those hard-to-reach spots, it earns its place on the workbench pretty quickly. It is just one of those handy little additions that makes the messy parts of a project feel a whole lot less like a chore.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.